In the kitchen today, we have two wonderful food writers who both have royal connections. Dina Mackey's grandmother cooked for the Zanzibari royal family, and Tom Parker Bowles just happens to be our Queen's son. And Helen McGinn's reigning over today's wine list. Right, thanks, Tom. Right, our special guest today is the comedy legend behind some of the nation's best-loved shows. He's here for a hearty breakfast ahead of two stage performances today, playing two iconic Only Fools and Horses characters in the smash hit musical. Please welcome the brilliant Paul Whitehouse.
Thank you very much.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good.
I think it's about 7 o'clock at night, isn't it?
Yes, I was feeling like.
I better go then.
Please don't. We've got about another 90 minutes.
OK.
You were in the show last night.
Yeah.
You're back in two performances today.
Yeah, yeah.
Busy boy.
I know, yeah, for an octogenarian, not doing bad, am I?
Do you like it, though? Do you like that?
I love it, yeah, it's great. Well, I love playing those characters. It's a privilege, really. I get to play Grandad, you know. All right, Del Boy, I'd love a nice bit of haddock.
You do?
And I love him because he's such a sympathetic character, and he's got one of the best lines in the show when he's telling Rodney off. He goes, "A lot of people have it much tougher than you, boy. I mean, look at poor Trigger. His dad died 2 years before he was born." I realise that it's actually a lot of thick people. You know? It's just taking a mickey. And then I do Uncle Albert at the end.
Right.
And, he comes on, you know, sort of with his big beard, and I'll do a bit of... I mean, it's Pantover by that time.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of beard waggling, which seems to go down very well, and he does his old... During the war, and I do this. I don't really know. Go on, you have a go.
Oh, he used to do that. He did.
He did do.
I remember he used to get up out of that chair and
that's right.
Do a bit of that.
That's sort of more Elvis.
Thanks.
Oh, I thought it was more Tommy Cooper.
A bit Elvis.
Just like that. He's at Vegas for one night only.
That is my karaoke go-to. Right, let's see what else is on the menu today.
40, 45.
You're so slick.
Exactly.
Can I ask something? I was always taught it's rude to put your elbows on the table, and both you two have done it already.
I have to say, it's a very sloppy establishment.
Yeah.
Really sorry. Relaxed.
Yes.
Lovely, thank you very much.
Okay.
Better not drink much.
Well, I was going to say you got two things to do, haven't you?
Yeah.
Things.
Things.
Thing
business. There's no business like thing business.
Right, Paul, you know our viewers decide what you get to eat at the end of the show, but as you've been here before, we thought we'd shake things up a bit and get the audience to vote between two dishes inspired by two characters playing on stage in Only Fools and Horses for the next few weeks. So, we touched on it earlier. What's Grandad's heaven?
Well, as I say, he asks for... I'd love a nice bit of haddock, Del Boy. So, you know, you can do something imaginative.
OK, with haddock. Nice bit of haddock.
No, I've never caught a haddock. Because I do go fishing, you know.
In
all that time?
Never caught an haddock.
Really?
No.
Caught cod?
Yeah, caught cod, yeah. But I don't want cod. I want a nice bit of haddock. And Uncle Albert, again, we sort of touched on... during the war, all I ever had was corned beef. So could I have a bit of lovely beef and a pie?
Right.
Steak, kidney pie or pudding. It doesn't work without the beard.
Did he have a hat on as well, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, I've got the hat on. Yeah, I mean, you know, it doesn't work without the beard.
Oh, it does.
Oh, it does. Oh, it really does.
Well, you see it with the beard. Whoa!
It's down to you guys.
Portsmouth?
Portsmouth, yeah.
Portsmouth?
I know, don't ask me what's there. Us, we are there.
Right.
No, little seaside town.
Yeah.
Not much happening except the biryani.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Scottish, you say Portsmouth.
Really?
Portsmouth. Aye, Portsmouth. So I've offended the
Yeah, you everyone.
and anyone who lives in Portsmouth. I'm just having a laugh.
Right, OK, so enough about that. We're talking about that in a minute.
Stop that.
Thanks, Rick. We were paying attention. Paul, in the opening scene of Only Fools and Horses, the musical, your character, Grandad, burns some sausages.
He cooks them enthusiastically, I think is what you mean.
So we thought we'd take that tenuous link.
Oh, right.
And we'd make a sausage dish. So that's what we're doing.
Lovely. Am I allowed to look?
Yeah, you can. It's not a surprise, sausages.
It's a bit scary.
They're quite big.
Oh!
This is a nice... Too early.
Hell, he came at me with a sausage.
This is a delicious fennel sausage.
Right.
Okay, I've got some little bit of bacon lardons in there.
Okay.
Before they burn, I'm gonna chuck in some veg. So I've got some onion, celery, carrot going in there, and then we're gonna braise the lentils in some red wine and stock.
I know that. Yeah.
Got a little poached egg to stick on top because it's morning and it's just nice to have. Right, so while we get on with this, let's talk about the musical.
Yeah. Okay.
Sold out 4 years, sold out in London.
Yeah, in the West End. We had a little something called COVID to deal with, but it didn't stop us, and we came back, and then we called it. It was the longest-running show at the Haymarket, so you know we're very proud of that. And now we're going out on tour.
So you've just done a week in Bromley.
In Bromley, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying desperately not to offend people from Bromley. Wherever I turn, I cause offence. No, it's been great. It's been no, it's been great. It's been great, and they're very excited to go out and do it on the road. We're going all over we're going all England, Scotland, Wales,
Southend
Northern Ireland, Southend next week. Oh, blimey. Oh, I'm just about to offend people from Southend. Do you know we have to start the show half an hour later in Southend to get them out of the bar? Get them into the theatre. But we're used to it. We have a very lively audience for Only Fools. Yeah,
do you like that, though?
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's a badge of honour, really. There I am doing a very sort of, sensitive monologue as a granddad. Yeah. Where he's looking back on his life and what he's achieved. It feels like rain on this fateful day. And the audience know, they go, oh, no, he's doing a sad bit. Clunk, clunk, up go the chairs, they go and get a drink. I go, come on. This is my finest moment. But they don't care. No, they're brilliant, our audiences. They really are. And as you say about the sausage, Grandad is a notoriously bad cook. He burns everything. So that's Dell's opening line. Look at that. Look, you can fill out your Paul's coupon with this. Yeah.
As in a pencil. As in you could write with it. Is that the idea?
Can't come and join you lot. Yes. Okay, let's analyse that joke. He's carbonised it.
Right. Oh, carrot. I forgot a carrot. Right. So let's talk about how did it come about then? How did you end up? Sort of
being involved in it.
Well,
how did you end up being on this programme?
More luck than judgment.
No, I mean, very sadly, John Sullivan died long before his time. He was in his sort of mid-late 60s, and he just started work on a musical version of Only Fools.
Right.
With Chaz Hodges.
Okay.
Chaz and Dave.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. And they'd written one song for the musical, and when John tragically died. So John's son, Jim, and the producers got in touch with me and asked if I'd get involved, and I was like, well, I don't want to mess with Only Fools, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's quite a thing to...
Yeah, it is, isn't it? So Chaz and I collaborated on a song which is Where Have All the Cockneys Gone?
Yeah.
About, where's the old Cockneys? And it worked quite well, so that gave me the confidence to say, all right, I'll give it a go. Also, it gives me the opportunity to dance. Have you ever seen my dance?
No, I'd like to now.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
That's it.
Is that classic Cockney moves?
That's it.
You just offended the last remaining
I've done the Cockneys now as well, haven't I? Yeah.
All right, they're all sipping their lattes in...
Yeah, they are. Some went to Billericay, some went to Southend, some went to Edmonton, a few went to Ponders End, some went north, some went south, and a lot of them went to Kent. Oi!
Paul, did you love the writing part of it? Like, was that the bit that you...
Yeah, well, Jim Sullivan, John's son, and I collaborated on the writing, and Jim obviously knows he was brought up, he's steeped in Only Fools, so he knows everything about the history of it, and I mean, I'm a fan of Only Fools, but he knows it, sort of microscopically. So, and he's a very funny guy, Jim, and he's written a couple of brilliant songs for the musical as well. So, it was, I'm dangerous really because sadly Chaz Hodges then passed away as well. So
Don't stand too close.
Yeah. Hey, mate. You're my favourite chef. Oh dear.
That's my day's numbered.
But it's a collaboration always, you know.
Yeah.
And so many people helped us along the way. Our director, CJ Ranger, and a musical director, Stuart Morley, who took my sort of rough musical bits and pieces and sort of moulded them into something, approaching a song. So, yeah, it's been a brilliant process, and I know it sounds sort of disingenuous, really, but it is a privilege to play those characters, because they're
national
part
treasures.
Yeah, they are, literally. So, yeah.
I mean, your impressions are...
I mean, they're up there with you, man. in the national psyche.
Now, listen, within the show, also, you talk about how London is almost a character.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, we do, yeah. And that's why I didn't just want to trawl through the Only Fools back catalogue. I wanted to give it a little bit of a relevance. So we see Trigger gets his granny's ball.
Yeah.
He's crystal
What was that
ball.
little nod for? Is it like you're baiting me?
Yeah, of course I am. And he has a look at the Peckham now from 1988.
Yeah.
And of course it's all artisan bakers.
Yeah.
Come and try my Peckham rye. And artisan brewers, American Pale, crafted ale. They call me a barista, a coffee stylista. Because in 1988 nobody knew what an espresso was, a cappuccino, a latte, a flat white, a cortado, and he goes into this, So we see a snapshot of how Peckham has been kind of gentrified, really,
Yeah.
So yeah, we play with the past and the future.
But also, I thank you for being here this morning, because I understand you were supposed to be doing a photo shoot with Vinnie Jones.
Oh.
who's starring in the show.
Well, Vinnie's coming in. He's joining us when we're at Hammersmith in December around Christmas, and Vinnie's coming in.
What was that? What was that? Sorry. I'm zoned out.
He's so paranoid, isn't he? Nothing to do with you.
It's not
Sorry, I went quiet and I didn't know what was going on.
I was doing a scared face about
were you?
Vinnie coming in, yeah.
Yeah. He's a big fella, isn't he?
Yeah.
I saw him at the station.
The bigger they come, the older they fall.
Yeah.
Hey. But no, he's up here, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah. Yeah, so can we cut that bit? Yeah, he's coming in and, he's like... Well, he's a force of nature, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Should we reenact that classic moment? Him together?
Come here, right, let's talk about food for a minute.
Yeah.
So there's some sausages.
Yeah.
Simmering gently.
Beautiful.
In a pan. Give those... all of that doesn't...
It's all right, nobody noticed.
There you go. That works a treat. OK, so I've got an egg just poaching in there. These are the finished thing. I'm just going to put a little bit of mash.
Paul, can you please tell Matt how Bob cooked the sausages in the first episode that I watched?
Oh, my God.
I've seen him cook mashed potato with a bag of crisps.
Exactly. You should have seen the way this sausage emerged from a flask in a load of water, and he's sort of wobbled out like that. Think of a dog. I'll leave it there.
This has gone fishing.
Yes.
Yeah, here's a sausage.
OK, lovely. Oh, you're slicing it.
Oh, no, I'm making it fancy.
God, lovely.
Right.
Heart health?
Heart health, what
Is that a consideration on this show? It never has been.
But it's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
There's no butter in here.
Oh, there's some lentils coming.
There's some lentils.
There's no butter in the mash?
There's loads of butter in the mash.
Thank you.
You do quite, on Gone Fishing, you do quite healthy...
Well, we try
That's
to,
the idea,
that is
isn't
the subtext of
Yeah,
the show.
that is the subtext
Is
of the
heart
show.
health,
Yes.
So we try to, but, you don't... We have to stick to a roughly healthy diet, but that doesn't mean you can't have the odd thing like this and a bit of pie. Where would we be without pie?
Right. There's a bit of an egg situation.
Lovely.
There you go. Oh, look, wobbly as well.
Ooh.
Right.
And what do you want me to do with this?
Put it in your mouth and say delicious.
Now?
Yeah.
Right
do
now?
that.
Here?
Yeah. It's a bit hot.
It's not a bit hot, is it? It's like core temperature of the sun. I'm just going to take a tiny bit.
Yeah, watch it. Nice sausages, aren't they?
Look, I don't like to say this, but you are good.
Yeah, please don't.
It'll go to his
That
head.
is lovely. I didn't have any breakfast this morning on purpose.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so
I mean,
thank
we're
you.
tucking into the biryani. Right, what will I... Hang on, you're going to read in a minute.
Oh.
What will I going to be making for Paul at the end of the show? Will it be Grandad's Food Heaven? So tell us what it is.
OK. Right, you're going to poach smoked haddock in... sorry, I'm doing Uncle Albert. Dear boy, you're going to poach smoked haddock in milk and aromatics, whatever they are, and stir it through a rarebit base with beer, mustard and lots of cheddar. Grill the rarebit, listen,
Yeah?
on a puff pastry and spinach base until it's nice and golden on top. Lovely jubbly.
Or Uncle Albert's Food Heaven. Go.
Oh, I want to eat. Right. You're going to make a classic traditional raw pastry filled with delicious tin of beef, mushrooms and ox kidneys, served up with some buttered greens, because we never had anything like that during the war.
Now you can eat. Log on to the website now and have your... Thanks for that, Marcus. Right, time to find out what recipe we're making at the end of the show. So, Paul, remind us what the choices were. We've got haddock.
It was a lovely bit of haddock, please, Dale boy. I mean, you're a bit dangerous with that truncheon.
Yeah, I don't know
there,
what...
look.
Nerves.
He came at me with his sausage earlier, Your Honour.
And what about this?
That is Uncle Albert's steak kidney pudding.
OK, where do you think we're going?
I'm easy.
You don't mind,
No,
do
I
you?
really don't mind. I'm both, actually.
I reckon.
All right, well, you can't have both. You're going to have pie.
Oh, lovely.
Pudding.
There you go. Stick that in the fridge. I said to Tom, I might pass you something in a minute. He said, where's the fridge?
Okay.
53% of people want you to have this. Right, it's quite a lot to do in this amount of time. Tom, do you want to get on with the pastry? There's some greens to accompany it. Nice lard pastry.
Lovely.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
What's that? Drop of milk, egg yolk. Sorry.
Is it a
flour.
pie or a pudding?
Pudding.
Pudding.
Oh, it's a pudding. Or it could be a pie. It's more of a pudding.
OK.
What am I doing? Let's get rid of that. Sorry. Let's put that over there. Right, let's brown off some meat. So, nice bit of shin of beef. Let's get some colour on that. I'm going to brown off the kidneys as well. Keep those separate. And then this gets stewed down for about an hour and a half. And then right at the end of that, the kidneys are going to go in. Otherwise, you're just going to toughen those kidneys. Let's get a chop and onion in there as well. Right, so while we get on with this and do our best in the next 9 minutes or so. Paul, I got ADHD.
No, you're not.
Wow.
Well,
That's the title of your new
it was
podcast.
close. It was close, yeah. I do just recently started a podcast with my wife, Dr. Minna Jonkbayer.
Yeah.
You try saying that.
Dr. Minna Jonkbayer.
Ah, you did it. If you saw it written down, I mean, she gets called all sorts. Dr. Mine Jonkbayer, which I love, you know, it makes me laugh. She hates it. But she was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and I know it sort of seems to be everywhere at the moment.
Yeah.
But I went to see a comedy gig. A couple of mates of mine were doing an open mic spot. And of the 10 acts that came on, the first 5 came on and went, "Good evening, I'm ADHD." And so I thought, wow, this is extraordinary. They were all identifying as ADHD, and they've all presumably been diagnosed.
Yeah.
It wasn't much fun for my mate, because that was his opening line. he saw his act going down the toilet. You know, I've heard of this link, you know, that there is a lot of comedians seem to have ADHD, a lot of performers. I believe also a lot of chefs.
A lot of
apparently.
chefs. Yes, yes.
And
generally, like, quite high achievers.
well, it's not really, you're not really a high achiever. Or maybe you're the exception that
Very
proves
good
the
point.
rule.
That's a very good point.
I thought that's why you'd said it.
But, you know, I mean, so there's a sort of interesting avenue to be explored here, because, yes, if you find the right avenue to go down, if you can, you know, if you can become a chef or
Yeah.
I don't know, a performer, a comedian, an actor, a singer, then ADHD can actually help you in a way, it can help you in that field. But if you don't, it's a very different story because there's a very obvious link. They call it the school-to-prison pipeline. And the number of people in our prisons with ADHD is astonishing. And one of the guys we interviewed for our podcast, I'm ADHD. Oh no, you're not. Because a lot of people, they aren't. When they say that, they're told they're stupid or they're lazy or they can't focus, whereas actually, often it is ADHD. And one of the guys we interviewed is Dr. Phil Anderton. He's an ex-copper.
Right.
He was a copper for 20 years. And he said he realised that there was something going on with the number of young offenders that he was putting away and arrested. And so he organised a meeting with some of the mothers of these young offenders. And he thought that 20 people had turned up. 200 turned up.
Oh, my goodness.
And they all said to him, why aren't you actually identifying the root of the problem instead of nicking my son when it's too late and they're in prison? So there's a fun side, if you like, to ADHD when you explore the people who end up going down a creative path, who are lucky enough to find that avenue. But there's also a very, very serious side. And, we talk about our prisons being overcrowded. If you can identify early enough and intervene, well, that's going to, drastically reduce the prison population. So, we have a bit of fun. I can play devil's advocate and I can say...
You come across as quite sort of cynical, don't you, to ask the question?
Yeah, it's not genuine... Well, it's not cynicism so much as I take a contrary point of view, mainly to open up the debate, really.
Right.
But also, I can have a pop at people, because I'm a comedian, and you have
and also you're married to her.
Yeah, exactly.
She's wonderful. Because she's the expert in brain development, isn't she?
She is. She's got a PhD in early years brain development, and she was diagnosed as ADHD recently, so that gave us the impetus to examine it in greater detail. And there's an interesting element as well, not just young boys that end up as chefs, or on the wrong side of the law, but girls are very rarely diagnosed. There's something like only 2% of girls, because they don't present necessarily with the same characteristics of boys, naughty boys jumping about the back of the class, So it's very weird with the diagnosis of ADHD. If you're diagnosed as an adult, you have to get kind of confirmation that as a child you behaved in a certain way. Because you can't, you can't develop it later in life. You've got it from birth. And like I say, if you're lucky enough to find a path, it can be a constructive thing, but if you don't, then it's a negative thing. But it's been very interesting.
You've got some amazing guests on the podcast as well.
We have Sean Ryder was the funniest. He goes attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And Minnie's saying we don't like that deficit terminology. And he went, I never thought about it. Yeah, that's well bad, isn't it? But we've got Katie Price is coming up. We had Rory Bremner on, Denise Welsh. She spoke incredibly about ADHD and depression. And it sounds grim, but don't worry, I can find a laugh anywhere.
Well, I was listening to it, and it's very funny. I was listening to the Rory Bremner one.
Yeah.
And some of the things he was saying, I was kind of diagnosing myself. But it was very... it was interesting. I think he was talking about Lee Mack and about there's no filter. Just everything keeps coming at 100 mile an hour.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if Lee is ADHD. Are you, Lee? But his brain is so quick, isn't it, Lee, Yeah, he did that great line about, giving our Cockney theme. He said, God, some Cockneys are so Cockney, it must hurt them. That's a great observation.
Right, shall we... how are you getting on?
Done. Ready?
Oh, right, great. OK, so let me fill you in on what's been going on here, because quite a lot's happened. So this, obviously, the recipes are on the website, because you'll need them, rather than following this malarkey. So there's quite a lot of, there's beef, obviously, the mushrooms, there's quite a lot of Worcester sauce in there, in with some red wine, I've got stock going in, and then once all that's in, you bring it up and you tick it over for about 90 minutes. Kidneys are browned off on the side, they're going to go in right at the end, because then, obviously, the pie is going to go in for, I can't remember, to be honest, probably another sort of hour and a half to 2 hours.
Right on top of his game, isn't he?
Something I like to keep it loose. I've done that wrong. Yeah, there you go. Right, so...
Just like that.
This is the pastry.
There's Tommy Cooper up there, isn't
Stay with me.
Foil, baking paper, baking paper.
So, cold filling, there's your pastry, and it really is delicious and well worth making yourself, and I particularly... brilliant. I've just been told I've got 45 seconds to finish this. Right. OK, so let's get that in. You get the gist. I'll put a lid on it, stick that on, tie it up. It'll look great. We'll do it properly. That goes on like that. Let's talk about gone fishing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to distract you, because I see
please do.
You're struggling, mate.
Right.
Gone fishing. Bob and I go fishing, talk about heart disease, that's it. There you go.
Give me more.
All right, Ted the dog upstages us, and
It is gorgeous. I watched the first of the new series last night, and it was just heaven. You go from musing on death in a very funny way to pulling funny faces with packets of crisps.
Yeah.
So it's got everything.
yeah, and Ted was especially good, I think, in that
Ted was
episode.
especially good.
When he wedged his head between the chair and the table, I mean, I don't know what he was thinking of. Well, you know, it was tough.
Hey,
oh, look.
Look at that. Matt, I'm going to tell you what you're drinking whilst you're doing that.
Do you want to take this with you? Look at that, it's amazing. Oh. Right, there you go. Have a big old pudding.
There we go, look at that.
It's like a little sandcastle.
Should we get it to go? What's this?
It's a Portuguese red.
Fill in the gap.
It's from the Co-op. It's new from it's £6.85. Gorgeous from the Lisboa region, so nice, juicy, just what you need with the pie.
Nice. I wish it was the knife.
Yeah, what a lovely looking pie. Everyone go over and make it. That's all for us today on Saturday Kitchen Live. Thanks to Tom, James, Helen, Dina, and of course Paul.
Skin of your teeth, man.
Oh yes, all the recipes in the studio on the website, bbc.co.uk/Saturday Kitchen. I've got more Best Bite Shoot tomorrow.